Hi everyone, Christina Werner here. Welcome to another mail art video for SimonsStamp.com. Today I'm going to be using this fun stencil called Line Dance, as well as some Jelly Roll pens to create a fun envelope design. I'm going to use a black envelope. These Jelly Roll pens look great on top of dark surfaces, so a black envelope is perfect. And in order to keep the stencil in place and kind of stabilize it while I'm tracing around the different edges of the stencil, I'm going to tape it down. I've taped the stencil to the envelope as well as sort of taping it all the way down onto my work surface. That's just going to really ground the stencil and just make everything more stable as I work on this design. So these Jelly Roll pens are from the Moonlight collection from Sakura, and these pens in particular are perfect for dark surfaces. They're almost like a neon color. They're bright and colorful. On top of black, it almost looks to me like the lines are glowing. I thought that looked really cool. It looks a little bit like those like signs, those light up glowing signs at stores and in Las Vegas or big cities. So I thought this kind of mod design from the line dance stencil would be perfect for this. So as I'm using each one of these colors, I'm tracing multiple sections of this design. I'm moving around and making sure that the same color isn't used in multiple sections. And this is going to make it so that things look a little more spread out. The colors are going all around this design. I'm also using my fingertips to hold down the stencil right around where I'm going to be drawing. This is because this stencil, because it has a lot of open areas in the middle, it can be a little bit skewed or pushed by the pen. And I found that I needed to kind of hold that stencil in place so that I wouldn't, veer off in the wrong direction and not have it be the actual stencil design. So I'm using my fingertips and pressing those down and just going around all the different sections, adding different neon colors of Jelly Roll pen. I saved this section in the kind of center left for a white gel pen. So I grabbed my number 5 white gel pen or Jelly Roll pen, and this is the very fine tip white pen. There are 3 different widths of this white Jelly Roll pen. There's a 5, an 8, and a 10. And number 5 is the one that matches the width of these other colored pens. So that's the one I've used. And that white section is actually going to be where I address my envelope. I'm going to lift the stencil now and very gently peel up this tape. I want to make sure it's not going to tear the surface of the envelope. So I'm very gentle and slow when I peel off the tape. You can see how that design looks awesome like this. It looks really cool. I'm now going to pencil in the area for the address and kind of plan out all of the writing. So I'm using a pencil for this, and I've also got my eraser on hand so that I can really plan and erase sections and kind of design this as I go. The design or the idea behind this particular writing style is I'm going to do a mixture of capital and lowercase letters as well as very straight and streamlined letters and more curved or cursive letters. And I also want the letters to nestle in next to each other. So I'm going to spend quite a bit of time trying to get the spacing just right, and I'm going to erase a lot of things. I wanted to mention that the eraser that I'm using today is an arch eraser, and it's a foam eraser, and it's really gentle and it won't tear up the surface of your paper or cardstock. So I really have been enjoying using this eraser. It's one of my favorites. So after I had all of this penciled in, I then switched to a thicker white gel pen. This is the number 10, and the reason why I switched to this one is I wanted the address to really stand out. I didn't want it to be lost on this otherwise very busy envelope design, and I wanted to make sure that the address really felt like it was glowing and really, really bright. I also wanted to mention that this address is used with permission. Thank you so much, Casey. So no worries about this address being shown on the internet. So after I had all of that penciled in, I decided to add a few details around some of the different sections on the design. So I grabbed the thin white pen again, the one that I used to outline the white area, and I'm going to do some diagonal lines and vertical lines. I'm just going to kind of change the direction of the lines for each one of these different sections. I started with this little one down below on the circle, and then I just went to different areas, and most of them are kind of smaller areas, and I just kind of spread them around. I wanted it to be pretty random. The last thing I needed to do, as far as the front of the envelope goes, is erase all the pencil lines from penciling in that address area. I waited plenty of time for that white gel pen to dry before I did that. I then put my return address on the flap on the back. And this is another example of how you can mix upper and lowercase letters, as well as really streamlined letters and more cursive letters. So this is a nice mixture, and I think it makes it really, really fun and gives it a more whimsical look. So after I had my address on there, it just needed a stamp and a postage stamp on the front. So I'm using this fun Janis Joplin stamp. I thought the colors worked well. And that finishes the envelope for this month. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is a really simple idea, just using gel pens or blending ink or something like that for a stencil. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in another video very soon.